So in this video, we're dividing polynomials, so those are mathematical expressions with multiple terms, by binomials, those are mathematical expressions with two terms. So to do that, we're going to use long division. So here's how we're going to set this up. So just our regular long division symbol, and underneath our long division symbol is going to be the value that we're dividing into. That's going to be our n squared, our polynomial, minus 8n plus 12, and then our binomial is going to go outside that division sign, n minus 6. We've got a binomial here, so we're dividing this into the first two terms in our polynomial. So the first answer in our quotient is going to go right here. To figure out that first term in our quotient, we have to look at the leading term in our binomial and figure, well, what do we have to multiply that leading term by to get it as close to or equal to the leading term in our polynomial? So what do we have to multiply n by to get it as close to or equal to n squared? Well, we can multiply it by n. If I do that math over here, n times n minus 6, we distribute the n, and we get n squared minus 6n. I'm going to clean this up a little bit, and we get n squared minus 6n. Now what we want to do here is subtract the entire n squared minus 6n. So we're subtracting n squared and the minus 6n. So what that's going to wind up doing is flipping the sign of everything that's inside the parentheses here. So an easy way that we can do that, you just make everything opposite signs. So this n squared is positive, I'm going to make it negative or minus. This 6n is minus or negative, I'm going to make it positive. Now we can perform our operations. N squared minus n squared, well, it's going to give us 0. Those are going to basically cancel each other out. And negative 8n plus 6n gives us negative 2n. Now to continue this division, let's bring down the plus 12. When we're still looking at the n here, we want to figure out what do we have to multiply n by to get it equal to negative 2n. Well, we can multiply it by negative 2. So if I do that multiplication off to the side, negative 2 times n minus 6, distribute the negative 2 in the parentheses, we get negative 2n plus 12. Now remember, we want to subtract everything. So we're basically taking the opposite of all the signs inside our parentheses here. So an easy way to do that is just flip the sign. This negative 2n is going to become positive. This plus 12 is going to become negative. And now when we do our math, negative 2n plus positive 2n, well, that cancels out. That's 0. And positive 12 minus 12, that cancels out. That's 0 as well. So our answer here is n minus 2. We have no remainders. So our quotient of this division is n minus 2. Let's move on to another example where we divide a polynomial by a binomial and we have a remainder that we have to deal with. Okay, so for number 2, we're dividing the polynomial x squared plus 2x plus 4 by x minus 1. So underneath our division sign is our polynomial x squared plus 2x plus 4, and then we've got x minus 1. We're dividing into the first two terms, so the answer in our quotient, first term in our quotient, is going to start right here. We've got to look at the leading term in our binomial. What do we have to multiply that x by to get it equal to x squared? Well, we've got to multiply it by x. So I'll do that multiplication off to the side. X times x minus 1. Distribute the x, we get x squared minus x. I'm going to subtract this. We're going to flip the signs. So that becomes negative minus. That becomes plus. X squared minus x squared cancels out. 2x plus 1x gives us 3x. Now we can bring down the plus 4. Again, we're looking at that leading term, the x. What do we have to multiply x by to get it equal to 3x? Well, we have to multiply by 3. So let's put plus 3 here. And I'll do that multiplication off to the side. 3 times x minus 1. We get 3x minus 3. Do our subtraction. Let's flip the signs. That becomes minus. That becomes plus. 3x minus 3x. Well, those are going to cancel out. That's just 0. But here, 4 plus 3, well, that doesn't cancel out. That gives us 7. and we run out of terms to bring down, so that 7 winds up being our remainder. So here's how we're going to write our remainder when we're dividing a polynomial by a binomial. Our answer is x plus 3, and we've got to add on our remainder. So the 7 is positive, so to show it's positive, we're going to put a plus, and then we've got our remainder 7 divided by our divisor, the x minus 1. So our answer here should be x plus 3 plus our remainder 7 over x minus 1. This is going to be the answer for number 2. All right, let's move on to one more example. Number 3, we've got 10x to the 4th minus 13x to the 3rd minus 7x squared plus 8x plus 4 divided by the binomial negative 2x plus 3. So we've got a bit of a bigger polynomial here, so let's set this up the same way. We've got our division sign, and we want our polynomial underneath the division sign, so 10x to the 4th minus 13x to the 3rd minus 7x squared plus 8x plus 4, and then our negative 2x plus 3. So we're going to start this the same way, and we know that we're starting, since we're dividing by a binomial, we're going to start 2 terms over, so we're going to start right here. Our quotient's going to start right there. And we're looking at the leading term, negative 2x. Well, what do we have to multiply negative 2x by to get it equal to a positive 10x to the 4th? I can multiply by negative 5x to the 3rd. If we do that multiplication off to the side, negative 5x to the 3rd times negative 2x plus 3. Distributing the negative 5x to the 3rd in the parentheses, we're going to get 10x to the 4th. Remember, when we multiply our bases, we want to add the exponents, so 3 plus 1 gives us 4. And then negative 5 times positive 3 gives us negative 15x to the 3rd. So we should get 10x to the 4th minus 15x to the 3rd. Now to subtract this out, we want to flip the sign, so that becomes minus, that becomes plus. So our x to the 4ths, 10x to the 4th minus 10x to the 4th. Well, these are going to wind up canceling each other out. And then our negative 13x to the 3rd plus 15x to the 3rd. That's just going to give us 2x to the 3rd. And now we can bring down the negative 7 or minus 7x squared. So now looking back at that leading term, negative 2x, what do we have to multiply negative 2x by to get positive 2x to the 3rd? Well, I'm flipping the signs. So if this is negative, I want it to be positive, so I'm going to multiply it by a negative. So I want to change the signs. I've got x to the 1st here. I want x to the 3rd, so I need 2 more x's. So this is going to be x to the 2nd. So again, if we do that multiplication up here, so negative x to the 2nd times negative 2x plus 3, we're going to get positive 2x to the 3rd minus 3x squared. So 2x to the 3rd minus 3x squared. And now to subtract, we're going to flip our signs. That becomes negative or minus. This becomes positive. 2x to the 3rd minus 2x to the 3rd cancels out. Negative 7x squared plus 3x squared gives me negative 4x squared. To make sure we're keeping our signs here. So we get negative 4x squared. And let's bring down the positive 8x here. So now what do I have to multiply the leading term, the negative 2x, by to get negative 4x squared? So I want to go from negative 2 to negative 4, so I can multiply by a positive 2 because I don't want to change the signs. I just want to go from 2 to 4. I've got x to the 1st to x to the 2nd, so I want another x. So it should be positive 2x. So again, let's do this multiplication up here. So 2x times negative 2x plus 3. When we distribute the 2x, we're going to get negative 4x squared plus 6x. And now to subtract, we're going to flip the signs. So this negative 4x squared becomes positive This plus 6x becomes negative. Negative 4x squared plus 4x squared cancels out. 8x minus 6x leaves us with 2x. Now we can bring down the last term, the plus 4. So I'll do this up here. We've got 2x plus 4. Still looking at that negative 2x. What do I have to multiply negative 2x by to get it equal to positive 2x? Well, all I want to do is change the sign. I want to make it negative 2 to positive 2, so I want to multiply by a negative 1. If I multiply negative 1 times negative 2x plus 3, that's just going to flip the signs, so it's going to be 2x minus 3. Now to do our subtraction, let's take the opposite signs. Let's flip our signs, so this positive 2x becomes negative. Minus 3x or negative 3x becomes positive. So the 2x's are just 0. They cancel each other out. Our 4 plus 3 here leaves us with 7. So that 7 winds up being our remainder. So we're going to attach our remainder to our quotient. So we've got plus, since that 7 is positive, 7 over our negative 2x plus 3. So our answer for number 3 is going to be negative 5x to the third minus x squared plus 2x minus 1 plus our remainder 7 over negative 2x plus 3. This video was on dividing polynomials by binomials using long division. I hope this video helped you understand this concept a little bit more. If you like this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. This is Nick from First Coast Math Clinic.